it's Carol the Crafty Whippet, and welcome back to my FLOSSSTUBE. 13 months later, we're going to pretend that the rest of 2019 just didn't happen. We're better off that way. I did no crafting. Everything fell apart about the 1st of February last year, and it never got better. My own anxiety had a lot to do with it, but I also had a move and some necessary home renovations that had to be done prior to that move, and as a result, I didn't get any stitching done. Like, I put it down, and one of the things about habits is once you fall out of it, it's super easy to just not do it. And I didn't. I basically said, hey, my crafting's not important, I have other things that I have to get done. So I did, but it meant, again, I had nothing to show. And then once I had nothing to show, it became very easy to say, well, I have no updates, so I'm not gonna make a video, and then becomes the, well, I'm never gonna make a video again, blah, blah. Very excuses. I mean, we'll just go with there. A lot of the excuses that you tell are really the stories in your head to make yourself feel better. And so here I am, it's Palm Sunday 2020, stuck at home along with the rest of the country, and I finally decided to really start stitching again and crafting and find all my projects that have been in moving boxes. I found a couple of my linens in a box in my garage yesterday. I moved at Christmas, so that's 3 months that I haven't seen this stuff. I didn't know where it was. The packers did not label my boxes very well, so I had no idea where anything was, and we downsized. Not intentionally, but it happened. We thought we were going to only be downsizing by about 500 square feet. We moved from a house with a basement to a house without a basement, and my old basement was finished, which was helpful because it made for great storage space. I don't have that. I have one less bedroom, a garage that's smaller, and no basement. So, and the stated square footage turned out to be over by about 200 square feet, so that 500 square foot downsizing turned out to be 700, where it started, all my crafting stuff kind of lives in that marginal area, and we lost all the margin that we thought we were going to have. Which is fine, that's called life, but it's taken me a bit to adjust to that. So I started small a couple weeks ago and just said, you know what, I'm gonna cross stitch. I've been carrying stuff around in a tote bag, putting, 10 stitches here, 20 stitches there, and then fell back in love with it. So go figure. I mean, I guess the best part, when you haven't seen stuff for a while and then you start working on it again, it's like someone has picked out all your favorite things, but they're like a surprise because you've been far enough away from it. That's gonna be my story, sticking to it. By the way, if there's noise, I'm sorry, my children are home because, again, we're all sticking home together, right? And it's been 3 weeks for them. They're starting to go nuts. I'm surprised I haven't gone nuts. I may have, actually. Since it's been 13 months since my last FLOSSSTUBE, I thought I would go ahead and pull out all of my WIPS and show them to you. I don't have enough WIPS to really call this a WIP parade, so it's like a mini parade, but it's a nice way so you can see what I have that I'm working on. And the ones that have had any progress over the last couple weeks, I will have the before and after. For some of these, there has been literally no progress since my last video. It's okay, I told you, 2019 ended up being a total wash. I didn't do anything, so we'll just accept that. Additionally, I have some new Mirabilia patterns to show you because me and my credit card got a little happy when I was online last week, but it happens. And then lastly, I'm gonna show you what I'm thinking about for, I have not done a new start since getting stuck at home. I have seen all the cute, Be Kind, Stay Home and Stitch, all the free patterns that are floating around on like Facebook. I don't love them. I feel like I should. It is really wonderful and kind of designers to be giving away cross-stitch charts, but none of them appeal to me because they're not my style. So, I have stash. I have so many patterns in stash, so I've narrowed it down to 6, and I'm really trying to decide what I'm going to order, going to mail order for my LNS. I wasn't fast enough to get curbside. I actually called them, no kidding, the last day before our non-essential business shut down, but they closed early that day and I could not drive across town fast enough to get to it. It was just sad. I mean, I had a list of like 6 stuff that I was ready to go drop coin on. It probably worked out for the best, but as a result, what I do want to do is figure out one pattern and kit the whole thing. Fabric, floss, etc. and get it started. Maybe see if I can get it done before everything goes back to normal. Of course, we don't know when that'll be, so that gives me no deadline to work under it. That's okay. Anyway, I guess I'll just start with the WIPS, and first, actually, I thought today, I brought up the pictures. So this is what Heartstring Samplery's Summertime Coverlet is supposed to be, and I am doing it in the called for gassed uniform blue. I just want to tell you, by the way, right now it is really hard to find. So my LNS didn't have it, my old LNS didn't have it, 123 Stitches out. I mean, I had to hunt. I did eventually find someone who has it in stock, Salt and Pepper out of Minnesota. I ordered from them twice now for flosses that I can't get locally, and I love their service. Prices are decent too. So this is where I am. I have, started coming over. This is the far left side of the pattern, gone up, and this is the one that actually brought me back to stitching. So I want to give credit to that. Like, it's the sort of project that you can sit at the pharmacy pickup line and work on when you have to wait an hour to get your albuterol. So that's what really got me started stitching again. I love this pattern. More importantly, I love this fabric, and for the longest time I couldn't remember what it was. Finally found the tag again. I'm so glad I saved everything. Being a pack rat has its benefits sometimes. So this is stitched on 36 count Weeks Dye Works linen in the colorway linen. A little confusing, but it is perfect. It is a little gray. It's like kind of a grayish off-white, and it works really well with this floss, but I love it because it's not bright. It's not, some off-whites I find dingy. I do not find this one dingy. And if I could have like yards and yards of this around, I would. So I hope I can find this again soon. Okay, next, I don't know if I had started this one prior to my last floss tube, so we'll pretend I didn't. This is the Prairie Schooler, a prairie garden, and my plan for last year had been to do each one of these blocks per month. I had started January, like I said, everything fell apart, so I had only ever stitched one block with it, where it started right here. Started with this one and put it down for a year. I finally, at the beginning of last month, started filling this in. So we now have 4 blocks done. We'll pretend that I'm through April. I'm not planning on taking to the end of the year to get this one done. This motif was a slug. This one was a bit of a slug. This one, and I do not know what any of these flowers are because I am botanically uneducated. But this motif took me a day and a half. It was no time at all. It was perfect. So, like I said, I have this, and it's really cute. My daughter was happily surprised by it. I did manage to start this one in late 2019. This is Autumn Queen by Mirabilia. Thank you, dogs. I'm sorry about that. I have my dogs in my bedroom with me, and one of them likes to whine. And I'm over it. So for my 2019 start, I had literally done the hand. just the hand. Well, this week I decided I needed more than a hand. So we have started doing the skirt. My plan for this Mirabilia is to go down and do the skirt first. I normally like to go up, do their heads, but the problem is once I get the head done, I'm like, okay, cool, pattern's done, and then you still have all the skirt to do. Less fun that way, so I'm going to do the skirt first. The one thing I found really interesting about this pattern is, if you look at it, follow me on here, I don't know where I'm focused. Okay, purple, and it's shiny because this is the old glossy, like, I bought this in 2002. Anyway, so purple skirts, okay, pretty straightforward. I always thought that it was weirdly washed out here. Now, the light section is stitched in DMC 818. It's pink. So, I know it'll look better once there's purple on the other side. It's, will optically draw you towards purples. But when I pulled that out, I was like, wait, it's not purple. But this one has been a lot of fun. Hope to get it done this year. And because, I shouldn't say that actually, since I said that last year and obviously nothing happened, but it's been a good one for during the day. Next, doing Ink Circles Tapestry. And you'll see I started it up in this corner, and I hated it. Working from the upper left for this pattern was very frustrating to me. So I decided to come down here and work out of the center, where I should have started in the first place. And I'm basically doing it clockwise, starting from this line here. And it's pretty. I love what I have stitched. I hate stitching on this project. This is, I think, one that also kind of taken away the joy of stitching. And I don't know why I don't like it. I think I don't love the fabric it's on. This is on 30 Count Weeks Dye Works light khaki. It's very, in my mind, very yellow, and I probably should have picked a different fabric, but I didn't, so, and I'm not going to restart it. But I also, it's the finding, and when I'm starting from the center, I feel like this is obvious, it's a mandala, so you have it's through the vertical axis, the horizontal axis, and then also your two diagonal axes. So really you're doing each little part 8 times. I tend to view the stuff on the diagonal, it's we'll say 4 motifs, but you're doing the same thing over and over and over. I don't find it therapeutic, not in a way that like summertime coverlet works for me, and I think it's because in this case you have to change thread colors so often that gets annoying. It's floss management's no fun with this. But it is so pretty. Like that's the hard part. When you're like, oh, I love this project, but I hate this project. It's one of those. So I'm very willing to let this hibernate and not come out as often as my other stuff. Makes me a little happier. Okay, next is Winter Kiss from Hade. Here should be a picture of it. This is where I am right now. As you can see, I've done nothing. This was one of the ones I found in my garage. Clearly, it wasn't with the rest of my cross-stitch stuff, like it wasn't with my floss, so I didn't care. I'll come back to it. It is helpful that I got a new prescription on my contacts so I can actually see that it's 25 count Lugana. I don't even know what colorway, don't care, it's a full coverage piece. But the point is, trying to do #1, I couldn't do it on my old prescription. It was frustrating, even with magnification. It just gave me headaches, and nobody wants that. Next we have Gloria and Excelsis, the Caroline Berries. I think last FLOSSSTUBE I had said I had gotten everything off. I went and picked out over half the work that was on this. finally have been restitching. It is super cute. And now that I have gotten as far as I have, I've realized I do not like this corner motif with the holly, because while this is for a Christmas pattern, the holly motif is just a little too twee for my taste, so I gotta rip that out. But other than that, it has been a fun stitch. I don't remember what the fabric is. Some even weave of some kind that was in my stash, but I don't even know what count it is. But I was more motivated around Christmas for it. Not motivated now. It's okay. It's probably going to be in hibernation too. Next I have a Lucilla needlepoint kit, and this is, the artist is Donna Dewberry. This is from 2000, copyright on it says 2002. I don't know how long I've had it, obviously years. You can still find them on Amazon, surprisingly, but, I mean, obviously not new, but it just makes me sad that it's harder to find kits. Anyway, this is an 18 count mesh interlock. 18 count mesh interlock canvas. I don't know, that's what the thing says. Anyway, so all of this is done with 6 strands of embroidery floss, and it is so wonderfully mindless. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. Also, the back, look how neat that is. That's the back. My cross stitch doesn't look that nice on the back. Anyway, it has been a blast for something small and different, and I am finding that it is, if I try to do one project for too long, I burn out on it, and then I just don't do anything. So I had kind of gotten to that point on Autumn Queen. I had really pushed it hard, and so I needed a break. This has been my refresher. Then I started burning out on this. I'm very obsessive like that. So then I found this. I do not have the photo. This is a Geraniums needlepoint kit. It is by, I forgot her name. It is one of the designers associated with Kohler Design, and I bought this probably 2006. It's as old as my daughter, I think. I can't remember if I got it when I was pregnant or after she was born, but anyway, I've had this and finally decided to work on it again. It is better TV stitching. I don't do very well with watching the screen, going to my chart, going to my work that I have on my, I work on hoops. So I don't do great with that, but with this needlepoint, like last night I'm watching TV after my kids went to bed, and you can do things like fill in the big area of yellow here because you're not counting it, you're just filling it. So it's kind of good for that sort of mindless stitching. I don't like to do a lot of it, but fortunately a little bit of it fills in very quickly, and so I'm gonna count this as part of my WIPS. I am tracking in my stitching journal, so hopefully I can make some good progress with this. My kids did kind of look at it a little like, ew, what's that for? I'm like, it's geraniums, it's fun. And they sneered at me like, so I'm like, oh, is this like totally like tacky and out of style? Yes, so what? It's fun. Anyway, I had mentioned that I felt the need to buy more Mirabilia patterns. Lots more. So I figured I'd at least share what I got. Because why not? I make my kids have to stare at these. The package had the tracking for it. For whatever reason, my carrier wrote it as return to sender, and I freaked out because this also had my uniform blue in it. And more importantly, I'm like, I don't want my patterns to go back to Minnesota, and this is not the first time my post office has done this. We have had to chase boys' scouting uniforms around the country, like that's no fun. So I went down to the post office. I was the only person there without a mask on. I mean, I didn't touch anything because I didn't need to, but it was the first time I had seen everybody with their mask, and best part, everybody with their mask. The women wearing glasses, that because their masks were causing the glasses to fog, they had their mask like down below here. It was an interesting morning. But anyway, so the retail clerk was able to find my package in the back. He wasn't sure why it was scanned as returned to sender. He's like, no, it's supposed to be going to your house today. But I was already there, so he handed it to me. So here's what I got. Florentina, Stone Roses. I'm kind of surprised this one's not out of print yet. Like, I keep feeling like it's going to disappear, but it hasn't yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. This one I kind of was like my last minute. Maybe, maybe not. Lady of Mystery. Crystal Symphony. I don't know how I didn't have this one already. For some reason, I was convinced I did until I was working in my shopping cart and realized, no, I don't have this one. I love it. It's ridiculous. Persephone. Persephone is one that I have questioned in the past. I think I've picked it up and put it down about 3 times. I am not a big fan of, in her skirt, on the lighter sections where they have the swirls, but then those swirls don't continue into the darker section. It's kind of weird, so I don't know if I'll do her, but I eventually decided, why not? Elizabeth. Lady Alexandra. She's really pretty. I wish that there was one that had that same look, but mirror facing her. I kind of like the idea of Mirabilia's as pairs, and she doesn't have a good obvious pair in their design list right now. And then Portrait of Veronica. So, as you can tell, when it comes to Mirabilia's, I really only buy the pretty ladies. So, you know, I didn't need to buy them, but again, my credit card said please do, so I did. And now for my trying to decide what to work on for stay-at-home stitching, we'll call it that. I don't like the word quarantine. I still leave the house. I go to the store and buy food. I mean, they have to hand me the shopping cart now because they disinfect everything, but I'm not stuck at home. My husband has done, by the way, actual quarantine. No, he does not have coronavirus, but because of his travel, for a while he was in fact treated as like confined in quarters, twice daily, temperature checks. It was ridiculous. So I don't have that, so I'm gonna call this stay at home. Anyway, Stargazer is one of my favorite Mirabilias. Absolute favorite. After all the other ones. I'm not done with the seasonal queens, and those are my favorites too. They're all my favorites. I love Mirabilias. But I was not planning on doing her for a while, but I kind of thought like, well, for a lady, I feel like she's a little smaller, although there's more beads than I normally like to do, so I don't know. But this one's calling to me. Lady of the Mist is also calling to me very hard. So, but Mirabilias are big projects, and I don't know if for stay-at-home stitching, if we're all back out in the world in 2 months, there's no way I'm going to have this done. And that would defeat the point of stay-at-home stitching, right? So then I was looking for some smaller projects, and the Songbirds Garden Series #1 from Cottage Garden Samplings, and this is Love. No, it says Love. It's actually titled Forever and Ever. I never remember the titles of these. But anyway, thought about trying this one. It's deceptively bigger than some of this is not like a tiny project, but it's doable in 2 months. The only thing is I do not have any fabric for it, and I have no floss. But I've already said, hey, I wanted to mail order from Alan Ellis anyway. But I don't know what I would use, because I don't love the gray that the model is done on, so I'd have to figure that out. And then the other one, Heartstring Samplings Coffee Quaker. I have a bad caffeine habit. I did not used to. 2 years ago for Lent, I gave up all caffeine. That was a painful painful 6 weeks. The headaches were insane. I was practically mainlining herbal tea because I had gotten into the hot beverage habit. And sometimes it's not the caffeine you're looking for, it's just the comfort of holding a mug, the steam, it's the entire sensation. So I had done herbal teas to get in, kind of hold on to some of that. But anyway, as soon as that was over, I went right back to caffeine. And it's only gotten worse. I got a coffee machine for Christmas, so I make lattes at home. I do not buy that many lattes before, but now that I'm at home, it's right there. So 2 a day? Yes, please. But the bad part is that it means that I don't get anything done in the morning because I have to drink. But anyway, by coffee, I thought that this was really like cute and kind of goes along with what I have going on right now. But again, I have 4 possibilities, none of which I have anything for, and I need to make that decision before Tuesday so I can get the call in and get everything shipped to my house. That's about it. That's my floss tube. After 13 months away, then that's all I have. And that's okay. I am this week going to be working on primarily the pansies. I do have labeled in my journal, that's my focus on a finish. It's a small project, and I just want it kind of done and gone. Like, it has served its purpose for telling me, hey, I like to do needlework in addition to needlepoint in addition to cross stitch, but I love the colors on it. Like I said, now that they look like pansies, but I'm ready to. I need some finishes. I've gotten very good at starting things, not so good at finishing them, so I'm gonna work on that. Autumn Queen, because again, I love my Mirabilia ladies, and possibly summertime coverlet. Possibly. Everything else, I don't want to plan too much. I want to allow some of it for being at my whim on a day-to-day basis. I don't get a lot done while I'm trying to work with my kids' work. It's not really schoolwork. I'm like literally homeschooling them. I know nothing about homeschooling, so it's kind of the pits. But it means I initially thought, like, when they first got off of school, I was like, oh, okay, well, while they're working, I had this vision that they were going to sit there and patiently work through their books, and then I could cross-stitch with them. No, I literally have to, like, sit them through. I have so much more respect for what teachers have to do. And I'm having trouble managing 3 kids. I'm trying to imagine a classroom of 30. It would drive me bonkers. Anyway, that was a total aside. I wanted to say thank you for stopping by, particularly after my absence. I hope to get back on a regular posting schedule. But if I don't, well, life happens. I'll do a lot of that. I'm not gonna work on excuses and beating myself up. It is how it is. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great stitching week, and I will see you next time.